Gas prices have been on the rise since our recession in 2008. Currently, Seattle's gas prices are approximately 12 cents above the national average. Though it may not seem like much, filling up a 16-gallon car adds up the cost. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the general trend of gas prices will continue to increase in the future. Our dependence on the oil that we consume continues to rise. The United States is the highest consumer of petroleum in the world. We import most of our oil from foreign countries, which largely contributes to our unstable spikes in gas prices. While approximately 34% of our oil comes from Canada and Latin America, our importation of oil from the Middle East takes an influential toll on U.S. gas prices. The instability and issues occurring in the Middle East creates fluctuations in how we pay for our gas prices. Assuming that our demand for oil will not decrease, we must realize that there is a limited amount of oil and that internationally we are reaching an oil shortage.
As a resolution to this issue, we propose funding for alternative fuel research. Not only will this create a myriad of jobs for the United States and help out the economy, but it will also promote the sustainability of our technology running on alternative fuel. So far, research into alternative fuel has brought ideas of electric cars and running on natural gases.
An economy built on American energy, fueled by homegrown and alternative sources that make us more secure and less dependent on foreign oil. An economy built on the skills of American workers, getting people the education and the training they need to prepare for the jobs of today, but also to compete for the jobs of tomorrow. We only have about 2% of the world's oil reserves. So we've got to have an all-out, all-in, all-of-the-above strategy that develops every source of American energy. A strategy that is cleaner and cheaper and full of new jobs. Now, a great place to start is with natural gas. Some of you may not have been following this, but because of new technologies, because we can now access natural gas that we couldn't access before in an economic way, we've got a supply of natural gas under our feet that can last America nearly 100 years. Nearly 100 years. And developing it could power our cars and our homes and our factories in a cleaner and cheaper way. The experts believe it could support more than 600,000 jobs by the end of the decade. We, it turns out, are the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. We've got a lot of it. We've got a lot of it. We've got to take advantage of this incredible natural resource. And think about what could happen if we do. Think about an America where more cars and trucks are running on domestic natural gas than on foreign oil. Think about an America where our companies are leading the world in developing natural gas technology and creating a generation of new energy jobs. Where our natural gas resources are helping make our manufacturers more competitive for decades. We can do this. And by the way, natural gas burns cleaner than oil does. So it's also potentially good for our environment as we make this shift.
With further funding into this research, we can bring better and cleaner fuel options to use and help our environment. However, opposing views have been set on alternative fuels, calling it a waste of time and money for our nation. John Desico, a research professor at the University of Michigan Energy Institute, claims that using the nation's budget to research for further alternative fuel options is a misuse of the money that could be spent on other important issues in the nation. Rather than proposing that the U.S. pushes for the rise of alternative fuel, he states that a better way to help our environment is to continue to raise fuel efficiency standards, to pursue policies to reduce driving, and most importantly, to control upstream in the energy and resource system that supply the fuels used downstream in our everyday lives. Desico's opinion on the topic of alternative fuel ignores the fact that there is an oil shortage internationally. Because there is no way to work around the diminishing amounts of oil worldwide. To alleviate rising gas prices and encourage cleaner fuel sources, we must fund for more research on alternative fuels. Funding for the research of alternative fuel contributes more benefits than disadvantages to our nation's future.